Welcome to Beerfield. It is Sunday, week 14 of the NFL season. Should be, for most of you, the last regular season week of your fantasy football season. I said that right. Last regular season week of your fantasy football season. I am your host at Beerfield Hop, as always, joined by Beerfield Theory.
Good morning.
He's just got his caffeine, and Ryan Miner _FFP. Ryan
What
Miner,
up, everyone?
who I'm pretty sure just woke up with his hair done.
Always do it. That's how he falls asleep. He does his hair with so much hair gel that when he wakes up, it's in the right position. Well, it's like those TV shows you see, like on Lifetime when you're flipping through the channels, and like the woman wakes up perfectly, like makeup's already all done, hair's all laying perfectly. That's one thing that really bothers me about movies.
Yeah,
it's in TV shows is that they wake up
perfect,
and it's like perfect. Like no one wakes up perfect. Yeah,
No.
you don't wake up with lipstick on. Look at my perfect complexion,
my perfect hair, and it's definitely not like I've been sleeping with my mouth open for 8 hours and I'm talking all raspy and congested as shit.
Spots on the pillow, and
right.
Yeah. And it's not like you're rolling over to kiss your significant other. You're like, not that morning breath. Get that shit out of here. Scratching your ass. You're like, I gotta go. I gotta take a shit.
Right.
Next on the Hallmark movie, Reality.
Yeah. Oh man. All right. Weather, because that's always what we start with. Quick look there. You got possibility for light snow dusting in Buffalo. For that in the Jets game, so nothing too significant there. No significant wind, maybe some drizzle in 49ers Bucks. So what potential light rain for Jags Titans and Eagles Giants. So nothing that would be considered too swaying there. Definitely some weather going on, as that's what happens in the winter. But nothing too significant that's really going to sway. Yeah. What weather happens in winter?
Never. It never
Shocking,
happens.
right? All right. Some updates as we just kind of read through what the latest and greatest is as we await your questions. Saquon Barkley expected to play against the Eagles. Huge part of the offense. So, yeah, he's healthy. You start him. No Darius out for the Vikings at left tackle. Shouldn't matter too much. Detroit not necessarily known for their pass rush. Although that means Hutchinson could wreck a game.
Should be. What's up, Bama?
What's up, Bama? Jared Goff, plan is for him to be in Detroit in the future. I don't know if the future means like next week or next year or whatever, but okay.
Means next year. They're not letting him go.
I don't think they'll let him
go. They're gonna try to build around him. I think they're gonna try to. They're gonna give it one more year, is what I'm getting out of it.
Makes sense. They've been competitive.
I mean,
he's not.
Yeah,
he's not been bad.
No, not at all. Like he's been better than I thought he was gonna be. Like last year, it was like, This year, he's definitely like taking that next step.
Actually, I haven't dove into Jared Goff recently. Like just what his overall performance has been for the year.
I don't want to dive into Jared Goff. That's probably why. It's like, ooh, hey, Jared Goff. It's good to like, if there is a definition of just an average Joe quarterback, it'd be competition between Jared Goff and Kirk Cousins. I was just gonna say that.
He's pretty...
Bama wants to know Aguilar or Duvernay, full PPR. And that feels
starting off with no Jacoby Myers for starters.
Nope.
So that's gonna, you would figure.
Goff really hasn't been that bad.
No, he hasn't been. He's not been like super fantasy relevant, but everything's just solid.
He's been a journeyman. He's been a game manager.
Yeah, everything's solid. I don't know how else you put that. He's had some blow up weeks. Screamer, by definition. Anyway, back to that question.
Oh man, Aguilar, probably Aguilar.
It's probably Aguilar is where I'm at with that too. Duvernay,
yeah.
Huntley,
Noah
they've got
Jackson.
yeah. With you got Huntley starting, who we've seen favor Andrews in the past. Ravens activated J.K. Dobbins yesterday, so he'll play. I'm going Aguilar, I think.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Just because it seems like anytime you go Duvernay, he doesn't do anything. He'll get like 1 for 6.
The ceiling hasn't necessarily been that high either. Patriots have a better matchup.
ETN or Barkley half PPR.
Ooh,
both.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Why? Okay. What is in your other running back slot or flex spot to where you can't do both?
What is preventing you from playing both, Randy? Mr. Randy Watson.
Yep, that's kind of where I'm at with that. What
I don't know how many running backs would prevent you from playing either or, but
right.
He could be like in a one running back league. Like I'm in one of those leagues where you can only start one,
we'll see.
Only start one.
Yeah,
that's no flex options or nothing.
Nope. No, it's like you start one quarterback, one running back, 2 wide receivers.
That sounds like
what the fuck league is that?
Sounds like
a tight end, but then a whole bunch of IDP players. So you actually start like a whole offense and a whole defense.
So it's an IDP league with some offensive skill players.
Yeah,
it's like flipped upside down and backwards from the way you would normally do that.
This is what they call Stranger Things.
Yeah,
we're in the upside down.
Jags a little bit tougher matchup. While we wait to see what prevents both, out of those two, I would probably lean Barkley against the Eagles over ETN against Tennessee, but I'm real curious as to why both is not. What lineup decisions make both not a viable option?
Yeah, I would also go Barkley if I had to pick. 8-man league with non-fancy players. I have Hopkins, Chase, and Swift in my other options. 2 RB, 2 flex. All right, let's break this in here. Let's break this down here. So ETN, Barkley, Swift, Hopkins, and Chase sit 1. Right, there's 5. He needs 4.
You're not sitting Chase.
ETN, Barkley, Swift, Hopkins, and Chase.
Swift has the better matchup than ETN and returned to full workload. The issue with the only issue with ETN is normally you'd start him, especially in a week like this, with volume and when so many people are split. But for an 8-man league, Titans are 27th in points allowed to the run, and fantasy points allowed to the running back. Although the flip side of that is that they do give up some receiving yardage, to that position.
Oh man.
If you flip that on their head, they're 9th in receiving yards allowed to the position, but just 1 touchdown. They don't give up a ton of rushing yards either. I think you're sitting ETN in that scenario. I think with the volume and everything, most scenarios you'd start him, but in this scenario, I can see that it's a tougher matchup, and I would agree with Swift over him.
So we're sitting ETN. Probably it's Hopper sitting ETN. Ryan, where are you at on this? These 4 or 5 players. Pick one to sit.
I'd play in Hop, Chase.
I think there's a good. I think the top 3 players
Barkley,
he's playing already. Yeah.
Like I'm nervous between Barkley. Like it's almost I'd rather go safe and go ETN and Swift, just because you don't know how if Barkley takes that 1 hit. Is he going to be out of the game because of that neck injury he has?
He's playing scared, though. You don't do that the week before the playoffs.
It's also it's not like ETN. It's also coming back from his own injury.
Right.
He hasn't been productive since. So it's. I would play Barkley. I would play the team that's going to lean on the player and hope that he doesn't re-aggravate the neck injury and he's out of the game. I would go with the guy that's going to have the opportunity to go through him in a game that the Giants must need to win.
They do need to win. Yes. I agree with that.
It's not to say that Jacksonville doesn't need these players. Obviously want to win, but Jacksonville has other options to go through. ETN isn't the offense. ETN doesn't stay on the field as long as Barkley does. Doesn't have the opportunity to roll through him. The offense rolled through him. So I'd go through Barkley.
I'm gonna go ETN and Swift.
Okay. Well, the show is Barkley.
Yep.
Ryan is ETN. All right.
Yeah, I was looking
Game
at.
one. Oops,
Sorry. No, I was just gonna say I was looking at the Eagles against backs too, and actually they just held, but that doesn't change my answer. It was just something I was paying attention to.
Bama wants to know Josh Palmer or Pat Fryermuth. Non-tight end premium full PPR.
What was the first option?
Josh Palmer.
Palmer's such an interest because the last time Allen and Williams were on the field, it was Palmer that blew up, and they're playing the Dolphins. That is going to be a high-scoring game, and I think I would lean the wide receiver over the tight end, just given position parity. But Freiermuth has been so good lately.
That over under since a Thursday has moved up 2 points. That is insane.
I think you got to go Palmer.
Yeah, I like Palmer too.
You're going for upside, Bama. I would play Palmer,
especially because you talked, Ryan, about one hit and playing scared, but playing scared. This would be a Mike Williams thing of, the last time he tried to come back from injury, he was on the field for like a play and a half or whatever before he got hurt again, and it feels quick and like a quick turnaround on that. Like the Chargers are in desperation mode. So I don't believe that Mike Williams is 100% healthy, is what I'm saying.
No, he never is. I feel like 100% of the time he's at 85%.
That's that's their entire fucking collection of playmakers.
Anyone on that
team.
That's the entire team. Yeah. 85% of the time, they're 65%.
Yeah, he's not on the injury. He's not on. Oh, he is on the injury report. Limited practices up till the end of the week with an ankle injury for Mike Williams. So, that just backs it up. He's not fully healthy. I'm going Palmer.
I like Palmer myself.
And then, what are the thoughts on the? I'm also going Palmer. What are the thoughts on the? It's Okanaku, the Titans.
Wonko.
Tight end.
Yeah.
He's a tight end. That's how I look at it.
It's Burks. Once we get it's Burks hasn't been officially ruled out, has he?
No, but he hasn't been yet.
No, but
he's pretty much out.
He's pretty much out.
Okay.
It's the same situation with Mixon last week. You're not
pull up his peripherals.
He's a tight end. I mean, Ryan nailed it. He's a tight end that is giving you a ceiling of 65 yards, a floor of 40 yards. He has one touchdown all the way back in week 4.
Those numbers are good.
Target volume isn't good.
Not his production volume, but his metrics.
Metrics, yeah.
His workout metrics.
You're one tight end, too. So,
yeah,
I'm not. Was this?
He has it.
Was this also in that same start sit question, or?
No, this is just Randy's other question. He was just asking about him.
Oh, just what we think.
Yeah, just what we think of him.
Yeah. So, a rookie tight end getting playing time is really good for future prospects. He's involved as much as you can be involved as a receiver in the Titans offense, and he's just kind of in that mess of, just a guy tight ends that, any week could fit like back in tight end 1, but there's not really a lot of parity there. He's somebody I'd be more interested in looking at as like a late round flyer next year than I really am this year, unless I'm in just desperate need for potential tight end upside, which, like I was riding Zach Ertz and then I lost him and had to go pilfer the waiver wire in deeper leagues. I'm not, I don't really get excited about, 5 target a game tight ends because they're kind of a dime a dozen, but given how young he is and his workout metrics, long-term prospects I like.
Yeah, if you're trying to play, if you're also leaning towards your thoughts about him playing this or about his potential this week, there's upside to it. He's finally cleared 50. He's finally cleared 50% snap share. Ran his most routes last week. 5 targets, 4 catches, 68 yards. That's a back and tight end 1.
Good matchup. No Burks. Yeah,
he's got a good matchup. No Burks. The Titans are starving to find some resemblance of offense behind Derrick Henry as they stumble into their playoff run. or into their playoffs here. So,
it's a good storm for, a potential big game.
There's a reason why he's been the more popular
sleeper
tight end this week, and that's because he's got a great workout metrics, right? He's got a 90th 92nd percentile speed score. He's got a 96th percentile 40 time. Like his best comparable is Noah Gray. Noah Gray's been a very popular, very, very sleeper tight end backup to Travis Kelce. So
I'm just
there's excite. I get the excitement.
I do too.
I get some of the interest more so.
It's also need based though, because some guys that are a little bit more proven around the same floor area, like we're talking guys like Freiermuth and Schultz, for example. Like I'm not running out to start Okonkwo over them, but if you need somebody this week, yeah, or if you just need an upside play,
yeah,
sure. Dolchich is in the same vein this week. I would consider them to both be guys that have some risk to them, but have a more upside than your average tight end this week.
Ryan, what are your thoughts before we close this?
Oh, I mean, Haber nailed it. It's just tight ends. It's what you hope for the best when you try to get one. It's just like you look at it and you're looking for a touchdown, and that's it.
This is my bar game too. Before I ended up in a steady relationship and married, you hope for the best when you try to get one of them tight ends.
Jesus,
but it's so true. It's like Travis Kelce. You're hoping Mark Andrews bounces back now. You have TJ Hawkinson, who's doing really good. Like you have like 3 or 4 tight ends that you can actually trust week in, week out. And then after that, I feel they're all the same.
Yeah. Hollywood Brown or James Cook at the flex PPR. I'm assuming full point.
Wow.
Yeah. That's spicy.
Spicy.
The rise of James Cook.
Yeah. We talked about that one a bit on Thursday. And I looked at Hollywood the other day. I want to go pull this up again because I looked at him.
There it is.
Yeah, I looked at him earlier this week to see what he's done since Nook's gotten back.
He's played he's played one game with Nook this year.
Right, and the target volume was fine. Didn't really have the blow up. Patriots are a tougher defense. With James Cook, we talked about, expecting the Singletary split, although Cook's getting most of the receiving work. 5 and 6 targets in back-to-back games. That pretty much gives him a similar floor to what you'd expect out of Hollywood. Jets defense, also a tough matchup. That's a good one. Somebody else start this other than me. Go ahead, Dan.
Kicking the can.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm gonna let you two convince me on something here versus me doing me kicking this one off, because I don't have a strong opinion.
I would still go with Marquise Brown. I would go with he all targeted Hopkins when he came back against the Chargers. Yes, a tougher matchup, but Brown's never going to get team's number one defensive back. He'll always line up on Hopkins. The big play is there. This is his first game back from what should have been a potential season-ending injury. And now he's got his second game. He's worked himself back into it. James Cook, well, good story and probably better for 23. We'll always share the backfield with Devin Singletary. Tough matchup against the Jets. Based on over/under, this should be closer. Obviously, the spread would suggest that Buffalo should blow them out, which maybe could yield closer to a guy like James Cook. But if James Cook roles expand more, this feels more like a Devin Singletary game than it does a James Cook game. Not to say that James Cook can't be that guy, but divisional matchup, Bills need this. If Cook makes a mistake, which he's been known to do this year, he could find himself out the game, or not out the game completely, but out in stretches. So I would play Brown over Cook this week.
Ryan,
I'm looking it up right now. I'm trying to figure it out. Because who's Arizona playing against?
New England.
Arizona's playing New England on Sunday Night Football. it Sunday night or Monday? Monday night
Monday
football.
night.
Monday
Sorry.
night.
Monday night. Final game of the week. Boy, you're gonna have to wait all that time to watch
Right?
James Cook and see what James Cook does. And no, I'm still going Brown.
Yeah.
I think. Go ahead, Hopper.
No, I wanted you to go before me on this one. You do it.
I would go Marquise Brown still. I feel it. But it's just like
Yeah, I'm just
because like James Cook is like you don't know what you're gonna get. It's like Dan said like it could be a Devin Singletary game, then everyone starts James Cook, and then you get 3 points, and then Hollywood Brown. He could be one deep pass, and he's already got you 15 points.
It's like he's a more consistent Gabe Davis.
Yeah.
Because every goddamn show, it's got to always come back to him at least once.
I'm looking at his game log, like with DeAndre Hopkins back.
he's only
had one game
back,
and he out targeted him.
8 targets, 6 receptions, 42 yards. I am Brown on this one for upside as well. I'm looking at receiving backs in particular and what they've done against the Jets. Ramondre Stevenson, 8 targets, just 24 yards. DeAndre Swift, 8 targets, just 24 yards over the last 2 weeks. Dalvin Cook, 5 targets, 27 yards. Aaron Jones, 5 targets, 14 yards. 5 for 39 for Jaylen Warren all the way back earlier in the season. 5 for 26 for Darrell Henderson. The most yardage the Jets have given up to a back was 48 to Nick Chubb in the receiving.
And their 2 highest are both running backs who are not known to catch passes.
Right.
Which means they're not game scheming for them. They're not game planning for them.
Right. So, I mean, even in PPR, your yardage floor is not there. They've given up 2 receiving touchdowns all year. One to James Robinson who had a total of 5 receiving yards. One to J.K. Dobbins, who had a total of 22 receiving yards. So, I mean, I'm going Brown. The upside is more significant with similar floor. And we have seen the last couple weeks. I mean, it's Diggs and Jefferson who are outrageous, but we've seen the Patriots give up points to wide receivers.
Oh, yeah, they've given up touchdowns in back-to-back games to receivers, too.
Yep.
To the Bills and to the Patriots, 2 touchdowns. Or
2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
2. The tough defense. So,
well, that's what makes me always think is like it's always like tough because it's like, what is Belichick's going to do to you?
Well, he's going to take away your best player,
which is going to be
best player between Brown and Hopkins.
Who's your best player? Hopkins. You're not going to. He's always done.
Neither of them are Diggs or Jefferson at this point in their careers either. So
yeah,
it's not like he's going to take a player away.
Yeah, Gabe Davis and Stephon Diggs both scored. And then let's look at this. Was it Adam Thielen and Justin Jefferson also scored? I want to say.
I think Thielen got the last touchdown and Jefferson got one in the middle.
Yeah, Jefferson got a touchdown, Thielen got a touchdown, and Hockenson got a touchdown. So yeah, I'm going Marquise Brown.
10 targets to Thielen too.
I always like to look back, like, it's like I don't like to look at, like, when people like look at like the rankings, they say like, oh, this defense ranks 29th. I usually like to go back, like I start now and look back 2 to 3 games to kind of see what it is. And if it starts looking even worse, I go back even further. FF
Today, shout out those guys, let you kind of do both. They have, which is what I typically use when I'm looking at that stuff. It will let you has a link that lets you go to just the last 3 weeks or just the last 5 weeks as well as the whole season. So I normally cycle through that, and then when you pull it up, it will break down the individual players, and what they've done against a particular team. So that's how I just see all that quick, including the last 3 games, 5 games, and kind of looking overall at what things have done. It's pretty handy.
Yeah. I should try that more often. I mean, they're good at stopping the rushing. That's one good thing.
Mm-hmm.
The Patriots. So, yeah, it's going to be a passing game. I don't think James Cook's really going to be anything. So, yeah, Marquise Brown it is.
Incoming James Cook blow-up game.
Right?
Probably. You just unlocked it, Ryan. Way to go.
Way to go. I doubt it.
Click.
Oh, boom.
Yeah. Saliva.
Uh-huh.
All right. I'm running through some other things here. No DJ Dallas this week against the Panthers. That's expected. Travis Homer's off the injury report. He'll draw the start in the absence of Kenneth Walker. He backed up by Tony Jones and that back.
No, it's gonna be that's so gross.
But it's two players I would go if I have a spot I can pick them up on. I'm gonna go grab them because I did that in one of my leagues just to screw someone else out of getting anyone.
Yeah, perspective
This is
pickup.
Yeah, it's play asshole day,
Be that asshole.
And if I'm choosing one as a perspective pickup, by the way, for me, it's Tony Jones, I think. Not because I think he's better than Homer, but I think we've seen more of Homer than we have Tony Jones. So
Homer's got, I've been seeing all over Twitter, Homer's got one game of double-digit carries ever in his career.
Yeah.
That was for the Saints.
Yeah. No, not Jones. I'm sorry. No, Travis Homer.
Oh,
in the regular season, so it's Seattle the whole time.
Because I think Tony Jones.
Not Tony Jones.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
So he's like the Baker Mayfield of running back right now.
No one's the Baker Mayfield of anything besides Baker.
He's also been with Seattle.
You don't besmirk.
He's
Baker's
also
name.
Been with Seattle since week 6.
We got updates rolling in. No.
Oh yeah, we got inactives.
Inactives and like the important stuff.
It's already 10:30. Time flies when you're having fun.
That's right.
Where do I normally go to get here? Yeah, here.
Sports Edge. Sports Edge.
Here we go. We've already got the Buffalo and Cleveland and Houston Rams, Vegas Jets. That was obvious because of the Thursday game.
Zachary Pascal or Russell Gage, PPR.
Death.
That's pretty ugly.
Yeah. Pascal?
Yeah, I'd go Pascal because is Gage even playing anymore?
Yeah, he's active. He is also the number 4. Bam, I'm really sorry, but that's a really rough
It's a rough Pascal, deep league Pascal, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's the number 3 out there in Philly. I think he's finally overtaken Quez Watkins or Travis Fulgham. I should probably vet that if I should say that.
Here, I'll do it for you. Hold up already.
Hold up the Eagles
depth chart. He is not ahead of Quez Watkins depth chart.
I'm gonna look at. We'll see what last week's snaps. Maybe there's a suggestion to one way or the other. And nope, you're right. It's basically Brown and Smith are in the 80s, and everyone else. Watkins is at 51. Pascal's at 38.
Yeah.
He played 5 more or 9 more offensive snaps.
Yep. So good luck.
We're still going Pascal, Bama.
Things I didn't think I'd be answering this morning. Zach Pascal question.
That's why we got the deep. You got the guys with the deep questions. They gotta make sure that we stay on our toes.
No Xavier Rhodes for the Bills.
The plan is for Goff to be the future in Detroit.
That's all. We talked about that.
We've talked about that.
Oof.
Usually it's me that's not paying attention, and I was actually paying attention that time.
Right.
Well, that's because you mentioned Goff in future, and I just kind of blanked out because those things should never also be a part of its sentence.
The Bills are starting to get somewhat healthy on defense. They're still, without Hyde for the rest of this. It looks like Poyer's going to play. White's going to play. No Xavier Rhodes on the other side. So for them, no. Let's see, Matt Milano's playing. So Bills are kind of where they've been all season. For the Browns, no Greedy Williams. I don't know if that's been a thing for a while or not. For the Texans, no Nico Collins, no Brandon Cooks. Who's catching?
No offense, basically, for Houston. It'd be Chris Moore and Philip Dorsett.
Yeah. No Collins, no Cooks, no Stingley. Ugly for them. No. Let's see. Jets. No Bryce Hall. No James
right.
Robinson.
You got a question.
Inactive Zach Wilson again.
Shocking. All right, we got to pick three out of 6 here. And these are some names. We're not going into Zachary Pascal versus Russell Gage here anymore. You've upgraded.
Good morning, Edward.
Waddle, Swift, Zeke, Jeff Wilson, and show favorite Rachaad White. Pick 3.
Waddle.
I'm going Waddle.
3 out of 6.
Waddle for sure.
Yes.
Waddle
Second.
is the number 1. Waddle and Godwin, I think for sure.
Was Godwin in there?
Yeah, he was the first one.
No, I missed
Godwin, Waddle, Swift, Zeke, Jeffrey Wilson.
Godwin and
Rachaad
Waddle. For me, Wilson is out of that discussion.
Yes.
Just given everybody else that's there, I'm eliminating Jeff Wilson. So that's going to leave me with Swift, Zeke, and Rachaad White. Swift, we mentioned being back to kind of a normal target workload in a game that should be high scoring. For the Cowboys, I really think that there's a strong chance they run for a bajillion yards today against the Texans who have no offense, which bodes well for Zeke. So it would really be between those two. I love Rachaad White, but I don't see a scenario where splitting carries with Fournette, I want to play him over Zeke in a really good game script or over Swift in what should be a high-scoring game.
I think the first 3, Godwin, Waddle, Swift, for me are my. I mean, as you mentioned, Waddle is in the highest scoring game of the week. That's gone out multiple points. There should be a shootout. The rapport that Godwin and Brady has really had over the past since he's really been healthy.
Godwin's floor has been great.
He's been a top 10 receiver in the NFL. There's no way that you sit him at this point. And as Hopper mentioned, no need to worry about Wilson or White. You know, both are in timeshares and both are on the opposite end of snaps. Zeke against Houston could easily see himself taken out of the game at some point because they're up so big and they ride Pollard more. Or Malik Davis. Malik Davis also scored a touchdown last week. Which is insane.
Have you seen this touchdown streak for Zeke?
Yeah, Zeke is
1-2-2-1-1.
And Zeke's been generally more efficient than Pollard until Pollard gets the big breakout run. Obviously, Pollard is a more efficient back entirely, but Zeke has not been bad. I like the matchup. I love Swift in this matchup against Minnesota more so than anything. He'll be lined up on linebackers who can't cover him. Kendricks generally plays in the middle. I can't see Kendricks lining up a lot on Swift this week, and I think that's going to be one of the big matchups to look out for is how Swift gets involved against them. I think that's going to be one of their better ways to win this game. So Godwin, Waddle, and Swift for me. Zeke is very close. If there's one player that's going to that could have his team score too many points to be taken out, it's going to be Zeke, and they'll ride the younger guys.
Does it matter if it's PPR or not on that at all?
Yeah.
No, I mean, sure. I would want to play Swift more. I would still play Swift even in standard over him.
So I'm gonna curveball this a little bit. I'm gonna go Waddle, Swift, Zeke. No Godwin on this one.
That's where I was going to go with.
I look at this a little bit more. Zeke riding that touchdown streak and in that game script has such a good floor with such high upside that, I think his upside is more than what Godwin's is this week against San Francisco. And I love the target volume that Godwin's been getting, but you've gotten good performances out of him, not necessarily great performances, and there still have been a couple, like last week, 13 targets, good, 63 yards, no touchdowns. That's kind of meh.
So it is full PPR.
Okay, so flip side of that, you go back, you get a couple touchdowns middle weeks. You go back 4 weeks, 7 for 36 and 0 is kind of meh. And you've still been getting some of that from Godwin. So I think I would actually go Zeke over Godwin in this particular game script, in this scenario with the streak that he's been on, and the efficiency that he's been on. You said it last week, Dan. To get taken out of the game, you've got to be in a position to be taken out of the game, which means that you have to put up a ton of points. And I think if the Cowboys do, Zeke's walking away with at least a tutty and 50-plus yards, which is really, really good floor. And that's not that I don't like Godwin this week as well, but just given those options, I think that I would go Zeke over Godwin here, actually.
Same Z's.
Matchup, too.
I like the running back. I'm always for running backs.
Well, yeah, for running backs, and then
I would be if Zeke was utilized in the passing game more. Now it's competing against this important matchup against San Francisco. Godwin's got to be he is going to be the focal point of this passing game. Brady in the box for the ball over 50 times a game. And in a world, yes, it's going to be tough for them to score points. Godwin can get to where Zeke gets without needing to score a touchdown. He's been multiple, double-digit targets for pretty much the majority of the season. Yeah, the show it sounds like the show is going to go, Edward, to put this on a bow. It sounds like the show is going to go Waddle, Swift, and Zeke. I would still go Godwin over Zeke, but it's very close. Those four players are very close for me. I don't have any issue either way with whatever direction you go with. I hope it gives you the most outcome, and hopefully all four of them, blow up, and it's okay.
Yep.
But Zeke's had 16 PPR points in the last 3 games too. 3 games in a row.
Zeke is heavily relied on touchdowns. He's got no touch. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, no. To your point, I was just going to jump in and defend you. It's 5 targets over 3 games, though, and his yardage height has been 14. So, yeah, he's got 16 PPR points, but Dan's point is that he's not doing it through the receiving game, and he's right. He's not. He's doing it through the fact that, over the last 5 games, he's got 7 touchdowns.
Right.
Which he's below 55% snap share. Like he's been very efficient. That's good to see. And that's why Dallas doesn't need to ride him, because they have him and Pollard.
He's a South Jamal Williams.
Yes.
he's a far better
Jamal Williams South.
He's a far better Jamal Williams.
Oh, heck no. Jamal Williams is a dog, man.
They're both dogs. One of them's a Rottweiler. The other one's a fucking Chihuahua.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. He's not. I don't mind Jamal Williams.
I don't either.
All right.
So and I'm the same way with you, Dan. By the way, I have no problem if the argument for Godwin's more compelling. I think that both him and Zeke do have good week.
Yeah. All right. JD wants to know full people. I'm assuming full because Devonta Smith or Mike Williams.
Devonta Smith.
Yeah,
no question.
That's not even. They're not even in the same tier anymore for me. It's all Smith. That offense Smith is just as important to the offense as Brown is. So
Smith's been consistent.
Well,
the last several weeks.
I won't
too.
say as important.
And then, hey, fantasy football girl from Texas.
Hey, from Texas. Yo, from Illinois and Michigan.
Missouri.
No, Hopper's he's in Illinois.
He's in Illinois?
Yeah, I'm right on the border.
Oh.
I am Illinois side of St. Louis. So, Collinsville. So, Illinois and Michigan or Ohio or wherever you're. I like to say that description.
One of those states.
All right, inactives. Back to this. For the Ravens, no Nick Boyle, no Lamar Jackson. We've talked about that at length. Tyler Huntley is going to draw the start. We talked about the Bills already. For the Bengals, there's no Chris Evans, no Hayden Hurst for the Bengals.
Yeah, that's a rough one.
Yeah, I wasn't ready for that. I don't want to say I wasn't ready for that. I somehow missed he was dealing with an injury.
He got injured last week in the game, but he wasn't declared out until recently.
So, no, you don't want anybody behind him. I don't think Mitchell Wilcox or Devin Asiasi is going to do much.
You too, JD. Good luck.
Good luck.
I'm playing him in the listener league. This is dominating fucking team he's got.
I wonder if I'm gonna break 30 points this week in the listener league.
Jesus.
No surprises for Dallas. No special agent Tom Kennedy for Detroit. So they're gonna lose.
That's it, Ryan. Just bucket back it in.
Back it in.
No special Asian Tom Kennedy.
No Tom Kennedy. Lawrence starting.
It sounds like he's
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's active.
I think it was officially active.
He is
and he was
active,
already
yes.
leading that way. Yeah.
That's why I was asking. I didn't see him on the inactive list. Darasol, we already talked about for the Giants. No Leonard Williams. A little bit of a no Adoree Jackson either. So Giants a little banged up on defense. Zach Wilson, a healthy scratch again for the Jets. No James Robinson again there. I think I mentioned that already. Nothing surprising for the Eagles. Nothing surprising for Pittsburgh. No Traylon Burks officially for Tennessee. No Christian Fulton either.
Oof.
It's a rough week.
Yeah.
No Danico Autry either. So they're banged up.
Oh, Joe Mixon officially active now too.
Yep. Him and Deontay.
Yeah.
Who think Hopper mentioned.
Yep. Who am I missing still on the inactive run?
I don't think I've seen anyone of note that we really care about.
Yeah, I'm looking to see if there's any teams I'm missing. Let's see. Check them off here real quick.
Might as well.
Let's see. Vikings, Lions. I saw both of them. Ravens, Steelers. Saw both of them. Browns, Bulls. Saw both of them. Jets, Bills. I know, but both of those are there. Texans, Cowboys. Yep. Eagles, Giants. Yep. Jags, Titans. Yep. Okay, that's it. That's it for the noon games. Short slate this week. 6 teams on bye.
Final week of bye weeks.
Final week of bye weeks. Final week of the regular season. Yeah.
We're all
It's gonna be a
caught
fun
up.
week.
We're all caught up on questions over here for now. You guys have any asking for friends?
I had one, but I kind of answered it for myself. It was a Donovan Peoples-Jones or question. Who was I debating? I lost Jacoby Myers in places, which
Oof.
I was on the
Yeah.
fence about starting him anyway, just because of recent performance. Wasn't there. All right. I think it was here. It was, it was. Not re- Oh, it was Michael Carter, Peoples-Jones, or Greg Dulcich in the flex in a must-win scenario. I did get spotted by the fact that Derek Carr was played against me and got a whole 2 points. So right now I am projected to win by 20-ish.
Oh, hindsight probably doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I think I still go with DPJ.
Yeah, just for the upside.
Upside. I mean, Dolchis is great. Michael Carter is, I think, is the third bottom. To me, it'd be between Dolchich and Peoples-Jones, and I'll in the upside receiver.
That's where I'm at, is leaning the upside receiver, and then I've got Andrews at tight end, so Dolchich is just hanging out in case Andrews breaks himself again for the playoffs. Make it that far.
Break in case of injury.
Right. I'm basically in that league winning in. So.
Well, hopefully that worked. So hopefully that 20-point cushion that they think you'll get is comes to fruition.
Yeah, it's when the guy I'm fighting for the spot with is who I'm playing. So. I'm winning in. I'm losing. Need help. Basically, is what it is.
Okay.
I'm in the same predicament, I think. Because I have Amari Cooper and Tyler Lockett. They're both like, I have Cooper starting. I have Lockett in my flex. If I could either flip out and put in Jamal Williams, Devonta Smith, or Travis Homer, or even Brandon Ayuk.
I'm cool on Ayuk with Purdy playing.
Yeah. Who is the guy you're starting?
Cooper and Lockett. Lockett for sure.
So Cooper and Lockett.
I already have CD Lamb in there.
Put in Williams. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't mind Devonta Smith over Cooper.
I wouldn't either.
I mean, you still have the Watson experiment in Cleveland, and while that's gonna obviously, despite my feelings on the situation, I think that'll eventually turn around. But it may be a lot longer than people think it will be, and I think people are riding the idea of upside instead of the reality of the struggles to get there.
We also just talked about how beat up the Giants were.
They're pretty beat up, aren't they?
Defensively, yeah.
I think I would go Smith over Cooper, but they're pretty close.
Yeah,
it's not like it's wide apart or nothing. They're within the same tier.
Yeah, it just makes me nervous. I feel like it could happen. Like we were all excited when Deshaun Watson came out, and then he just looked like crap. So now everyone's all off the Deshaun Watson train.
I was
excited. You were never on it.
I was very excited to see him suck.
Why were we excited to see Deshaun Watson? I was excited that he was terrible.
Yeah, I was constantly applauding anything that went wrong.
Mm-hmm. And
fuck him.
I wasn't even excited to see him for the offense because it had been a year and 3/4 since he took a snap, as I put out on this show too. Like, that is a marathon, not a sprint. And if he is fantasy useful this season at all, I will be surprised.
All right, I got one for you guys. And this is my Eliminator League. There's 3 teams left. I am one of 3 teams in this Eliminator League. I thought there was 4, but there's 3. Ramondre Stevenson or DeAndre Swift?
Swift.
Okay. Oh. Yeah.
So, playoff scenario in my Dynasty League. And I love this. I love this rule for this.
Are you talking about the Kicker Matters League?
Uh-huh. I'm in the 6th spot. And because the way that rule, the playoffs in that league are drawn up, the 6th seed goes to the highest scoring team that doesn't make the playoffs. And right now that is a team that is 4-9.
Wait a minute. Don't tell me that's me. Is that me?
It's not you. It's Morgan.
Oh, good.
It's Morgan.
It's Morgan?
Yeah.
Morgan? Oh, I was competing with him for the number 1. Oh, I was. I think I'm out of that now. But...
Well, remember, number 1 is not reverse order of standings either. It's if you miss the playoffs, you go into a weighted lottery.
Oh, that's right. You did the lottery.
I did it draft lottery style. So, no, you're not out of number 1 as long as you miss the playoffs.
You made it fun.
I did. I made it interesting, and I reminded people of that last week. If you read your league messages, that, hey, just a reminder, last seed is points 4, and worst record doesn't get you first pick. It gets you the highest odds at first pick, but we went NBA style. Yeah, it goes for year 1.
That's great because me. Oh, that's so much fun.
I have to win, and Brent has to lose for me to make the playoffs in that league. I am so beat up, though. If I make the playoffs in that league, I'll be shocked with how injured that roster is. But I have to win, Brent has to lose, and I don't think it matters what Morgan does, because I think whoever ends up in the 6th spot, he has like 100-point spot on.
So he's probably in no matter what.
He's probably in no matter what.
Yeah, you'd have to completely dud. Thankfully, I don't have to worry about that.
He has scored.
I think I'm officially out of the playoffs.
Yeah, he has scored as many points as I
Not
think
officially.
like the 3rd place team right now. It is 4-9.
He's actually scored more than the 3rd place team, which is Ryan.
Yeah.
Ryan's actually, I don't like 20. Ryan, your points 4 is, oh man,
ugly, right?
You got in by the sheer will of your defense. Yep. We don't play defenses in this league. They're not Swiss cheese when being played against. I think you have the lowest points for. 2nd lowest points for.
That's awesome.
Yeah, whoever high sport is it's just as lucky as you.
High spot is Brent.
High spot. Yeah, high spot. It's been the high spot is you and high spot. You and Brent are basically the same people.
Yes.
We just have lucky weeks.
You've had, you've won close ugly games. You are the New York. You guys are the New Jersey teams of this league.
Meanwhile, look at Morgan's points against. The points
Morgan is no, it's second highest, third highest. Oh man,
right.
that's great. I'm second highest, but I also suck, so it's fine. But
I love the way that's done because it's kind of chaotic now.
It makes it fun. That's what makes it fun.
Yeah, right. That's why I did it that way.
you're gonna see a 5-9 team. I'm assuming Morgan will win whoever he plays against.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see him make a run in the
I
playoffs.
see a 5-9 team in the playoffs. Yeah.
This is like a 12 seed in the big dance, making that run.
Yep. So cool. 11 o'clock in the Central Coast. So we'll go ahead and wrap this one up. Thank you guys for tuning in. Good luck getting into your playoffs. I hope when we talk to you all next week that y'all are like playoff teams and everything, and we'll, you're right in good shape. Last reminder, know your playoff format. Know what you need to do this week. Know if you need wins and points for. Structure your lineups accordingly. Know if you just need points for, even if you lose, and structure your lineups accordingly. So know where you're at, know your playoff format, know what you're getting into. See you all next week.
See ya.